Grifflet has overthrown the Iron Crown. Mordorith is dead, and Amartheal is dead, and most of them are dead. But Grifflet is alive. Lyrdon is dead. Lots of fatalities there at the end of Volume 1. But he has cheerfully survived, and he's back here in Rivendell waiting to carry on here. So let's, without further ado, move forward. Okay, one piece of further ado. As I say, it is the campaign, the fundraising campaign that we're in the middle of, which is why we're doing our celebration of all things Mythgard and Signum. Lots of special events this month that we're doing. A number of special LOTRO events, of course, that we're doing. I should mention before I forget to mention them. For instance, in 2 weeks, on Thursday, October 13th, at 4 p.m., I'm going to be doing a special discussion with Maid of Lions from the Turbine offices. Oh, well, I'm not going to go to the Turbine offices. He's going to be at the Turbine offices, and we're going to have a discussion. And I am going to be talking with him about the Epic Quest line, especially. I'm just really interested to talk with him about stories and storyline and developing the story of the Epic Quest lines and all that kind of thing. I'm going to be really interested to hear him talk about adaptation and stuff. So we're going to do that. But we're going to do it live, so if you have any questions, anything you would like to hear Maid of Lions and I talk about, you'd be welcome to to make some suggestions, any questions you would like us to answer. I've promised that I'm not going to pump him for information about what's to come, right? I've promised not to tempt him to say something that he shouldn't say about what's coming. But any questions that you have, or again, that you would, either questions that you have of him or questions that you'd like to hear us discuss, that would be really great. So you're all invited to that. So that'll be at 4 p.m. on October 13th. You can go to, if you go to signumuniversity.org/fund, and there's a link to our campaign page, which has all of our events, and there's a separate campaign page. There's a separate event page for the Maid of Lions discussion on the 13th, as well as, of course, the Grifflet Marathon, which is tomorrow. Now, for the Grifflet Marathon, last year, you'll remember, we did a special sort of pledge appeal for in support of the chicken run that we did last year. So we raised $7,000 last year in our campaign, and for the in response to your generosity and giving, collectively $7,000 to support Signum and all of our wonderful programming. We did the chicken run to Minas Tirith, which was really great. And so this year, I'm going to do another marathon. So this is like 2 marathons for the price of one. If we raise $5,000, see, it's a very modest goal. Raise $5,000. I'll do a second marathon with Wigand. And the cool thing about the Wigand marathons, Wigand is my guardian. He's my very first character ever. And still slightly my highest level character at only 76. I know it's like hugely impressive, right? It's because I'm a completionist. I just can't charge ahead. Anyhow, point is, with Wigand, when I do the Wigand marathon, I'm going places in the game I've never been before. So the fun thing about doing the Wigand marathon with me, with Grifflet, I've already done the Epic Quest line before. So I'm discovering new things and getting to talk about stuff that I've never gotten to talk with people about, which I really, really enjoy. But when I'm streaming Wigand, you're seeing me discover things in the game that I've never clapped eyes on before and learning stories that I've never seen. So if you're interested to see, for instance, my reaction to the Brownlands. I've never been in the Brownlands. I don't know for sure what's over there, but I'm hoping for some Entwifely material in the Brownlands. That's my hope. He's about to go into the Brownlands. After that, cross into Rohan for the first time. I have never, apart other than in the form of a chicken, I have never been into Rohan proper before. And so I cannot wait to get into Rohan and learn about some of the stories, to see what Grima the Wormtongue is doing behind the scenes in Rohan and everything. It's going to be great. So the Wigand marathon, if you want to sort of watch me naively discover all of these things and talk about the connections to the book and everything, I'll be doing that later on. We'll do that one if we raise our $5,000. Now the way that you do this, I think hopefully Maven or Fairvenin can post the link to this special donation page. This is a special donation page. So if you go to the Grifflet event page, there's a special donation page where you can kind of target the donation, sort of flag them for supporting the LOTRO campaign. And then that's how we can keep track of how close we're getting to our $5,000 total. So that now there may be some other things we're going to be doing. I'm thinking about also. I mean, if we can raise enough money, I'm thinking about also doing the Quest of Erebor instance chain, which I've never done either. I've never done that. I really would love to do the Bells of Dale and get to see Dale in the Lonely Mountain in game, which I've never seen before. So I'll explain more details about those things tomorrow during the Grifflet stream. You consider pledging Grifflet as he goes through Moria. You know, maybe you can make a certain donation per orc, you know, that he slays going through Grifflet, or pocket that he picks, or whatever. You know, maybe we can do some creative pledges. We'll see what happens. But of course, all of the proceeds go to support Signum University, a wonderful nonprofit university. I'm the president of it, so of course I say it's wonderful. But I encourage you to check out our mission statement and see what we're doing. Not just, of course, our LOTRO activities through the Mythgard Institute, but the many other open public programs that we have, and, you know, the way that we are trying to make, you know, Tolkien lore and, you know, fantasy and science fiction literature in general more accessible to everybody to really be able to dig into it and discover it in new ways, in addition to, of course, our academic programs and the way that we're, you know, trying to reinvent higher education in America. So it's a big deal. But I urge you to go and look into that. Now, meanwhile, Griffith, we got to get going here because you've got to get to Moria. So rumor has it that this elf over here has something he wants to say, because we're going to start with something exciting. Okay.
Sweet lad Malone.
Hey.
Can you stay a moment?
Yeah, I can stay a moment. Master Elrond wishes to speak with me. Okay, halflings truly have come to the notice of the wise and the great, have they not? I know, right? Like I'm getting summoned by Elrond. Of course, I've been chatting with him quite a bit lately. But still, good to hear that he has something else for me here. Go inside and speak with Master Elrond. Okay, yeah, I wonder on what business I have been summoned as well. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, this place is kind of comparatively overrun with hobbits these days, right? There are 5 hobbits now. 6, counting Grifflet. 6 hobbits, no, not counting anybody else. So yeah, no, quite. The place is awash with hobbits these days. So let's go see Elrond. Up the stairs, up the ramps, I suppose I should say. We go. I'm tempted to begin answering a lore question. Tony Mead, I don't know if you're here, but I saw the lore question that you posted in the Film broadcast right before I was doing my Silmarillion Film Project podcast, which, if you've never heard of that, the Silmarillion Film Project, I bet it's even cooler than it sounds. But anyway, Tony, I saw the questions you posted there, and I'd love to answer that for you. But Elrond is still worried about the dark days coming. Welcome, Griffith. Thanks very much, Elrond. Good to see you, too. We're peers now, right? You and me, Elrond. First name basis. That's really great. I am pleased to see you well. Yep, still well, right? It's been a few days. I've been hanging about, but it's always nice to be here. It's a safe journey for no one, not even doughty men or elves. I was just here, Elrond. I've actually been here the whole time since Monday. But it's all good. A small company will soon be setting forth on a mission of great secrecy to combat the lengthening of shadow of evil that spreads across the land. Really? I am loath to speak in detail of their errand. It's okay. Hush, Elrond. It's okay. It'll be between you and me. But know that it will do great hurt to the enemies of this age if they succeed. Got it, Elrond. Okay. Several of your people have chosen to be a part of the company. I know. It's so cool. Even now they prepare to depart. I ask that you aid these halflings with their preparations. You are of their kind and may lend them courage for the task ahead. You will find them in a room on the first floor of my house, the lodging of Bilbo Baggins. Aid them as you can, for much depends upon their courage. Okay, I get to help Frodo, Pippin, and Sam. Merry, you are on your own, okay? Forget about it. But Frodo, Sam, and Pippin need help getting ready to go. I'm going to help the Fellowship depart from Rivendell. This is so exciting. By the way, you know the date, right? What's the date? Does anybody know the date? It's almost time for the Fellowship to depart. So what day is it? Do you know the date that the Fellowship departs? Calendar date. Anybody know? Don't look it up. Anybody know? So I know there's a lag between when I speak and when you get to response in the phone. Also, I'll leave that for a second, see if anybody comes up with the date. Hey, Sam. You can have a word. You can have as many words with me as you want, Sam. You're totally my hero. A small bit of flint, spare cloth for the stitching patches, rope. What am I forgetting? Rope. Bless me, I know it's something I'll be needing. Rope! Oh, hello there, Grifflet. Yeah, thanks. I've caught you in a bit of a pickle. Too much packing to do and not enough time in which to do it. Bad enough to leave something at home. What you'll be needing when you're strolling through the West Farthing, but worse when you're on a trip like the one Mr. Gandalf has planned for us. I know, right? You've got to do a lot of advanced planning and pack plenty of rope. Do you think you could run to the Forges of Rivendell and pick up a few items from Graffin for me? Sure. I'll write up a list, of course. Now, what am I missing? Yeah, there's something. Good. Tekelvik has it. December 25th is the answer. Christmas Day is the day. You can find it in the Tale of Years at the end in Appendix B of The Return of the King. December 25th, Christmas Day, is the day that the company leaves from Rivendell. You remember winter is just setting in. Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot of people get really torn whether to make anything of that or not. I mean, it seems impossible to avoid the fact. But anyway, yeah. Julie, I was pretty sure that was you. Strong work, Julie. You got it. Christmas Day is the day that they leave. So Merry Christmas, Peregrine. Yeah. Okay, you're afraid the company has enough hobbits for now. We outnumber each of the other races, you know, though Mary says that Gandalf probably counts for more, whatever he is. I guess. What, are you counting Gandalf multiple times? Mary and I just got back from a nice long stroll around Rivendell, seeing the sights and keeping out of trouble. I borrowed a splendid walking stick for our hike from Elrond's library. It was simply excellent. I wonder if he would let me bring it with me on the journey. Probably not. He didn't want Mary or me coming along after all. Oh, so Elrond is going to grudge you your walking stick? What a stick in the mud that Elrond is, right? So, but you just borrowed it. Was it somebody else's walking stick, Peregrine? All right, so Pippin, you just made off with something you found in Elrond's library. Somebody else's walking stick. Wow. Probably not. He didn't want. Okay, right. Yeah. So so you're accusing him of being anti-Hobbit, and that therefore you suspect that Elrond is going to veto any walking stick borrowing, just out of his general anti-Merry and Pippin tendencies, huh? I think maybe Pippin, you don't quite have Elrond totally right, but we'll see. Okay, anyway, a wizard should know we wouldn't stand to be left behind. That's right. If you don't mind, maybe you could visit Elrond in his library and thank him for the use of that walking stick. Tell him I will come along and drop it off before we leave. Okay. Mary, what do you have to say?
Lovely day, isn't it?
Yeah, Elrond knows he wouldn't let them embark by themselves. I know they would have the help of elves and dwarves and men, but it's just not the same as having your friends with you. It's true. It's true. And Mary, I think I've told you before how much I admire your waistcoat, but that purple and gold waistcoat is just choice. Really choice. Absolutely love it. I would like a waistcoat just like that. Hey, Frodo. Whoa, Gandalf is got a lot of text going on here. You've heard about a Palantir being stolen? Palantir has been stolen, he says? What Palantir was stolen? What Palantir are we talking about, Gandalf? The one in Volume 1? Right, the Palantir of Amarthiel? Must be. What other Palantir could you possibly be talking about? In Rivendell, right? On December 25th! Or, maybe it's Christmas Eve still. Anyway, sorry, Frodo. Just puzzled by Gandalf there, but you probably know what that's like, right? Okay, hey, Frodo, good to see you again. It's always a pleasure to see a fellow Hobbit, I know, right? I imagine Elrond was reluctant to let you know about the journey we were leaving on. Yep, totally hush-hush, keeping it on the down low. But I think Gandalf might have had something to do with allowing it. Allowing Elrond to tell me about it? Is that what you mean, Frodo? Having a little antecedent issue with your pronouns there, but we'll sort it out. He is very mysterious, as usual. Gandalf, I assume you mean, not Elrond. But he generally has his reasons, even if we can't always see them. Right. My Uncle Bilbo wanted me to write up some notes of my adventures so far for his book. So I had a walk to a sunny spot here in Rivendell and started writing up a few things. Before long, though, I found myself getting drowsy, and when I awoke, I forgot all about my papers. I seem to have left them out there. Oh, man. If you don't mind, do you think you could bring them back for me? I was resting in the stone pavilion at the Imdoin Lookout, just north of Rivendell. You will find my notes there, I'm sure of it. Okay. Well, that was quite a spot. Picking quite the beauty spot for your reflections there, Frodo. Wow, you realize how valuable those... So he just left sitting around a first manuscript draft of book 1 of The Lord of the Rings, right? Frodo, you have any idea what that would be worth? I mean, to Shire historians, not to mention Gondorian historians. Wow. And you just left them sitting around, huh? Thanks for the walking stick. I was told to tell you thanks for the walking stick. Am I supposed to intervene with you to let him borrow it?
Hope is not in vain.
Yeah, he borrowed a walking... Oh, you didn't know he borrowed a walking stick. You don't have a walking stick? Oh, dear. Surely the Hobbit... did not mistake the scepter of Illuminus for a common walking stick. I trust Gandalf without question, but still I have reservations about Meriadoc and Peregrine joining the company. They are young and do not understand the dangers ahead. They will remain with the company, but I am displeased with the youngest hobbit. Peregrine should return the scepter, that need not be stated. Yeah, it goes without saying. Give back the scepter of Illuminus. That's great. The oldest surviving artifact made by human hands. That's the scepter of Illuminus, made in Numenor before the downfall. Lots of surviving elvish relics from the first age. Nothing made by human hands survives from the first stage. The scepter of Illuminus is called the oldest surviving. It's a stick. It's a 5,000-year-old stick. Yeah, don't lean on that, Pippin. Yeah, did I thank him for the scepter of Illuminus? They shouldn't keep it in a place where people assume that it's free for anyone to use, Grifflet. Well, just bring it back to Elrond and say there was a little misunderstanding and... Oh no, it's gone. Of course it is. Of course it is. Sam probably packed it. He's just packing everything in reach here. I must have left it out there and forgotten to bring it back with me. Now that I think about it, I don't remember using it on our way back, Mary. You're a hobbit I can trust, Grifflet. You've got to find it for me. I've misplaced the scepter of Illuminus. Oh, that is priceless. That is absolutely priceless. I mean, I thought it was funny as Wigand when I did the human quests starting up for volume 2, and Boromir's quest to like go up and give advice to the guard elves and ask if they'd really like a human to show them how to do it properly, right? That was pretty funny, but this is too much. Okay, we're in some large gray stones in the northern part of the valley that we climbed on top of, west of the road that winds up into the mountains, right next to those great forges. I must have left it on top of those large boulders. Find the scepter of Illuminus. What do you have to say about this, Mary? You wagered still on top of the boulders. Okay. It's one of the things, by the way, I really like about the Bingo Boffin quest line is how when you go back and revisit people and see what they, you right click on them again to see what they have to say, and they will give you like snark, basically. I always kind of like that. So, okay. So Sam is totally focused on supplies. Frodo misplaced a manuscript. Turns out the first draft manuscript of book 1 of the Lord of the Rings is only the second most valuable thing that got misplaced, and that I have to go find. Oh, that's hilarious. But notice, of course, the two things. I mean, it's really kind of elegant, right? I mean, it's hilarious. It would be funny it would be worth it for its comedic value alone. But anyway, it's the idea of the taking of the scepter of Illuminus. It illustrates some really interesting things, both about Hobbit culture and about elf culture, right? remember he said his comment, Pippin's comment is he shouldn't just have it there as if it were free for the taking, right? And you see what that shows. On the one hand, this shows that I remember last weekend I was at Midmoot with several of you, the Mythgard's conference down there in Washington, D.C., and we had a great time last weekend. That's what I was traveling to and why I couldn't do the Griffwood stream last Friday afternoon. So anyway, so we were making jokes at one point about that in the classroom. We were in a classroom at the University of Maryland, and in the front of the classroom, the really cheap, rickety wooden podium on the table was bolted. Well, it wasn't bolted. It was, it was attached with a wire to the table, like to prevent anybody from apparently walking off with this rickety wooden podium. We were kind of joking about that, like who would want a podium? And a couple of people were like, okay, I'd be a little tempted probably. If I were a student here, I'd probably be a little tempted. But anyway, at the University of Maryland, they bolt down, the cheap rickety wooden podium in the front of the room. But in Rivendell, apparently they don't even put one of those magnetic things that you have to get them to take off at the checkout line, on the Scepter of Illuminus. It's just sitting there for anybody to take, such that a hobbit could in fact make this mistake. Now I'm not paying a lick of attention to where I'm headed. I think I'm headed generally right direction. Let's find the Scepter of Illuminus first, huh? Because this seems like the most urgent issue here. So the forges are down there. I think the boulders are probably these boulders over here. Let's see if we can find, any 5,000-year-old sticks over here. Wait, I think I see something. Anyway, so the fact that it's not secured at all, though it is one of the most valuable things here, right? Tells you something about elf culture, right? Elrond does not need to keep it in a glass case or anything, right? He just, boy, that is an unusual walking stick. That's interesting. Notice it's got a spike at the bottom. It's got a little foot that is like it's designed for standing down against the ground. Unless it's designed for reversing and stabbing people who are kneeling in front of you or something, but probably not. So it's designed to be standing on the ground. That's interesting. That's a big scepter. I would have expected the scepter to be a little smaller, frankly. Also more jewelly, but I guess if it were more jewelly, if it were more jewelly, then it would probably not have been so readily mistaken by Pippin as a walking stick. Just had one of those moments, right, where I'm playing LOTRO and I'm like, wait a second. I have the Scepter of Illuminus in my inventory right now. Just saying, right? Have to make that observation. Let's see. Hang on. I want to see it. There it is. The Scepter of Illuminus in my quest inventory. There it is. I'm carrying around the Scepter of Illuminus even now. Okay, so sorry. So it tells us something about elf culture, right? And the fact that Elrond doesn't feel the need to secure any of these things. The second thing, of course, that it tells us is about hobbit culture. The fact that if you see a walking stick just sitting there, unoccupied by anybody, then you naturally assume that it's open to anybody to take, right? And not necessarily to take to keep, but to use, right? He was going to give it back. And notice he wasn't trying to hide it or anything. I mean, he sent Griffith with a message to thank him for letting him use it, because he was assuming that it was like a public walking stick, right? Because that's what it must be if it's just sitting there like that. So it does show that the hobbits clearly don't have the same elvish perspective on things, right? That is, he would have assumed that if it was important or something valuable or something that you're not supposed to use as a walking stick or that you're not meant to take, there would be some indication. You wouldn't just leave it around if that were the case. And remember, things do wander off. Think about the things that wandered off from Bag End and the silver spoons and all that stuff, right? So it's theft is a thing in the Shire, right? They walk off with things. Think about some of the notes that Bilbo wrote. So, if you don't want people to make free with the stuff that you have, then you probably shouldn't just leave it lying around, right? But at the same time, again, it's not a perception of there's no perception of theft here, or that he feels any guilt for having taken it. It's just hey, thank him for letting me borrow it. Hey, Arwen, yeah, I still love your dress. Like the little floofy things. I don't even know. Isn't there a word for those floofy things around the bottom of a dress? Somebody know that? I don't know what it is. But anyway, they're just lovely, Arwen. Does Arwen ever change her dress? Is she always in the same dress? Because that'd be kind of cool. Wouldn't it be kind of cool if Arwen's dress changed? But anyway, so Arwen, did you see there was a manuscript? Yeah, if only he'd had like a wooden stick that he could have weighted it down with, it might not have blown away. Okay, yeah, notes. Yeah, you hope Frodo's not upset at my... Oh, you read Frodo's notes? Oh, that was very naughty of you, Arwen. He's weathered many adventures already, but I wonder how many roads still await him and the rest of his company. Ah, well. Wait, this is a trick question. How many roads still await Frodo and the rest of his company? It's a trick question. I know the answer. 1, right? There's just one road and its tributaries are all the... Right? See, I knew the answer to that question. Okay. Sorry. His uncle will need more pages than this to write of them in their entirety. Yeah, totally right. It's approximately 1/6 of the manuscript right there. He's come now only from Hobbiton to Rivendell. How many more pages will it take before he sees his destination? It depends on the edition, Arwen. We all have our parts to play, Grifflet. Men such as Aragorn, dwarves, even hobbits such as you and Frodo will have an impact in the greater events of our age. Can I just say that I love that, right? What a wonderful... I have always admired the way that LOTRO brings the story of the player characters into contact with, but no, I always was kind of bored by video games that just like, this is the video game of the movie, and you just, you play the protagonist and you go through like all the movie events. And anyway, how boring is that, right? Or just, for us to play a game in which we are Frodo, right? Going through. So limiting. But this, where we can get included in paragraphs like that, right? Men such as Aragorn, dwarves, even hobbits such as you and Frodo, right? That's right. Me and Frodo, right? So cool. Yes, even I have a role to play, though my time has not yet arrived. Well, you do have some sewing to do. There's some light embroidery, I think, that we need to be finishing, Arwen, right? So let's get to work on that. Return these notes to Frodo with my good wishes and with my hope that he can return again to Imdolin when the errand of the company is finished, there to sleep once again in the sun. Oh, now you're teasing Frodo for falling asleep. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so I got Frodo's notes. Got the first manuscript of Book 1 of the Lord of the Rings. Got the Scepter of Illuminus. Yeah, I've just got to pick up the crown jewels and the Mona Lisa on the way back, and then I'll have the complete set. It's all good. I'm in the bushes. I can't see where I'm going. Okay. Time to pony up again here. Grifflet. All right. We are being so helpful. What else was I going to say? I have a feeling before I got up to Arwen, I was talking about something else. When I was riding up here, I was talking about Hobbit culture, taking things that weren't theirs. Okay. Yeah, I think I pretty much finished what I had to say about that. All right, I've got it. Now, notice how totally pragmatic Sam's attitude is, right? He's the only one who's packing here, right? Merry and Pippin are still focusing on their own bravery, right? On their own... sort of heroism in their insisting on going along. Excuse me. Sorry, trees. Sorry. Yeah, coming around. Tell me I can't go this way. Are you kidding me? Okay. All right. Whew. If I had to go all the way around, I was going to be mad. Hey, guys. Good to see everybody here at the crafting area. Hey, Graffin.
What can I do for you?
Yeah, I have a shopping list from Sam. You cannot accept these coins from Master Gamgee. I gift these items to him as a member of the company that bears all our hopes, and I will brook no argument. All right. Besides, I have little need of the monies of mortal kind. Oh, now you just had to go and ruin it, Graf, and that sounded totally noble until he's like, besides, I don't spend your currency. I give him these items freely, and would give any member of the company all that I could, though it be in no way comparable to the burden each of them carries. Return to Master Gamgee and tell him that any items I have are his for the errand of Elrond. Do you have some rope? He might... never mind. I'm sure he'll remember. Okay, so he's giving me back the purse, and I love that Sam... Oh, that's the other thing that I have. I have Sam Gamgee's coin purse. That's the third thing I have in my inventory, which is pretty awesome. Okay, pretty cool. So, oh, shoot, where am I? Here am I. Yeah. No, wait. Where am I headed? The right way? This is the right way. Yeah, I'm going the right way. Okay, good. Yeah. Discombobulated there for a second. Okay, tell you the truth, I just saw the bridge and panicked. You know, I'm like, do I have to cross that? All right. You know, it's funny. I just galloped across Rivendell before I started the stream. You notice we started over there. So, and, you know, when I'm not streaming and recording and everything else, no lag. It was fine. Totally fine. Anyway, okay. Every time I'm on a pony, I want to answer a lore question. Horseback riding makes me think of lore questions. But of course I only have like a minute. So if I start one now's not a good time to start one. I think I'm going to have to go down to Eregion at some point. That'll be a better time to start one. All right, last homely house. Okay. Scepter of Innuminous was a walking stick. That is classic. Absolutely classic. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second to make an invidious distinction. Compare and contrast. Compare and contrast Merry and Pippin sneaking into the tent and setting off the dragon firework in the Fellowship of the Ring film versus Pippin using the Scepter of Innuminous for a walking stick. Right? Arguably, both of those scenes in those two different adaptations serve the function of sort of filling in Merry and Pippin's character. Right? They're sort of extraneous bits not mentioned in the original text, right? Which seem designed to give us some insight into their personalities, right? As we, you know, get to meet them and come to understand them better. And I mean, I can't even describe how much better and more effective I find the LOTRO version of that, right? How much more of an insight, not just into their personalities, but, you know, like I was saying, into Hobbit and elf culture. We learn some things about that. I'm not saying I hate the fireworks scene. I don't totally hate the fireworks scene. But it seems to me so much, I don't know. What's the word? I want to say shallower. It's not quite what I mean. I don't mean shallow in the sort of socially pejorative sense, like you're so shallow. I just mean it lacking. It's simple. It's very simplistic in comparison. The way that this ties more directly into, like I said, sort of the deeper roots of culture, but not to mention that the way that it's connected with, what a way to kind of bring players into contact with the history of Middle-earth that lies behind the story, right? We don't hear in the books about the Scepter of Innuminous until the end, right? When we're told that it's the oldest artifact wrought by human hands. So but we never even know that it exists until the Return of the King. Here we get this glimpse, which shows us, gives us another insight into the antiquity of Rivendell, right? The kind of thing that you can see stumbling around. I mean, who knows, like, where that purple vase behind Marietta came from, right? That could be probably not a relic from Gondolin, a little too big, right? I can't imagine one of the refugees from Gondolin climbing over the Crissaegrim with that strapped to his back, so probably not. But that's the point. You never know, right? You never know where these things came from. I mean, look at the decorations in this room, right? You just look around yourself and like, there's this shield with these crossed spears. Like, whose shield is that? You don't even know. It could be anybody's shield, right? I mean, that shield was probably at the Battle of Daggerlad, probably, right? Maybe it's huge, that shield. Absolutely enormous. Maybe it was a Númenórean shield, from the battle with where the Witch King was overthrown. Who knows? Who knows? Right? So, it just kind of opens your eyes to the ancientry of Rivendell and, sort of the significance of all these things. The perception of depth of the story is increased. Whereas again, like, the firework thing is kind of funny, right? Does show us some things about their characters, does show us some about Hobbit society in the Shire, but it's just, in the end, the amount of work that is done by that is so much less. What bird is that? I saw it and I wanted to say swan, but that's a crest. And it's carrying... Is that a snake? Is it carrying a snake in its claws? Is that a heron? An egret? Huh. That's a swan. That's not a swan. Fascinating. Sorry. Hey, Sam. Got you some pro bono gear. Okay, I wouldn't have sent anyone but an honest hobbit to do it. I don't mind telling you... Yeah, you gave me... No, he wouldn't accept payments. That's queer and no mistake. I know, right? Always pay for your goods, Samwise, and you'll never want for them, is what my old dad always says, and I've always done right by that. Elves are strange folk, putting such importance on us small folk, and them so great and noble. Still, thank you for running my errand. These goods will surely help me on the next. Isn't that cool? Right? So Sam's response is, of course, to quote... he quotes... one of the sayings from the Gaffer's large paternal word hoard. But his response is that it's queer and that elves are strange folk, right? So we can see the sort of Hobbiton provincialism of his upbringing, and yet we see how it immediately shifts, right? He's not holding himself aloof from them, right? I don't trust those elves, right? That's not what we're getting from Sam. What we're getting from Sam is, of course, what we would expect to get from Sam: humility, right? What makes the elves so particularly strange? Well, the strangest thing about elves is that they put so much importance on us small folk, right? The fact that they take hobbits so seriously, them being so great and noble, is what surprises Sam most. Of course it does, right? Okay. Excellent, Sam. Very good. Thank you. What's Oh, sorry, I didn't actually talk to Pippin.
A lovely day, isn't it?
So about the Scepter of Innuminus, Pippin. I will return the scepter to Elrond just as soon as I get a chance. I'm a little busy right now. Yeah. No, it's okay. Like, I'll just chuck the Scepter of Innuminus in that umbrella stand over there, and I'll bring it back later on. Yeah, okay, Pippin. I hope he's not too upset and that he still lets me go with Frodo and Sam and the rest of the company. Being left behind would be a terrible punishment. I wonder why no one sees it that way. Every time I say that to Strider, he just smiles and agrees, but I can't tell if he's just humoring me. Okay, all right. Yeah, why don't you give back the walking stick, Pippin? Oh, man. That is just too much. That Pippin, he's a caution and no mistake. Oh, wait, Frodo, hang on. I'm going back to Elrond here. I'm just thinking about the Scepter of Innuminus. Got to talk to Frodo. Hey, Frodo, found your notes. Chatted with Arwen. She says come back and snooze there anytime. Thank you very much for bringing them back. Though now I look at them, they seem very short. Yeah, how very different it was to live through these few lines. Do the elves feel that this way, looking back on their long lives? Ooh, we're getting deep now, Frodo. How strange it must be. Does time pass more slowly for them or more quickly? What must it be like to remember so much? I suppose we never will be able to understand that, Grifflet. We are simple hobbit folk, and that's what we will stay, I imagine. What a cool idea, Frodo. Seeing the, taking the shortness of the story that, when you see it written down in a book compared to the sort of the greater richness of your experience, and using that as a metaphor to try to understand elvish experience, what it's like to be immortal. That's a pretty cool insight, Frodo.
Dark days are coming.
For Pippin, if he doesn't give back the Scepter of Illuminus, probably. Yeah, I understand. Okay. Gandalf says of your people that they have unseen reserves of strength and are stout of heart. And you hope it's true. I hope that's not like an ominous indication of what you're going to do to Pippin, right? Is Pippin going to need unseen reserves of strength and stoutness of heart in order to make it through whatever punishment you're going to dole out to him? Oh dear. Much depends on the success of the journey they will undertake.
Will
Yeah,
you lend
absolutely.
me your aid once more?
Of course, Elrond. How can I aid you? The time has come for the company to depart on their errand of secrecy. Good. Yeah. I've been some assistant so I can join them. Yes. Oh, of course I accept. Let's do this. It's time. It's Merry Christmas, everybody. Okay.
The household of Elrond Half-Elven gather to bid farewell to 9 brave adventurers
Yeah.
entrusted with a secret task which could mean the salvation or doom of Middle-earth. I, Gandalf the Grey, must lead them along dark roads.
Yeah, you must lead them along dark roads, Gandalf. Look, it's Bill the Pony! Hey, Frodo and Bilbo. Right? Bilbo, you cold? Your teeth chattering? Right? It is December 25th. And there's Bill, there's Aragorn tapping his foot. He can't wait to get away. Right? He's leaving Arwen behind, but this is a big moment, right? Only Elrond fully understands how much this moment means to him, and he seems eager to go. Right? I mean, he's sitting over there, seems composed enough, but he's thinking. Here's Sam, still packing, right? He's with Bill. Here's Legolas. Legolas? What are you looking at? What are you doing over here, Legolas, being all antisocial? Seriously, what are we looking at? A waterfall? You're looking at this gap? Oh, I can't go over there? Probably just as well. I'd probably chuck myself over it, Legolas, but we're staring off into the distance over the top of the waterfall. Okay. A little pensive. There's Pippin looking casual. No walking stick. There's Boromir. You got your horn, Boromir? Gonna sound your horn? Hope you remember to sound your horn. And then let all the foes of Mordor flee. Hey, Gimli. You're looking at this townsperson like, I don't know about that guy. Yeah. Oh, he's done. Now, Gimli's the one looking at the road ahead, right? That's right. Where's Gandalf? Oh, he's probably still in with Elrond. Yeah, I didn't come out till last. Okay. Wow. Hey, that's Bill the Pony. Good to see you, Bill. Yeah. Okay, Frodo, you can do this. I hope to see you too. Adventuring is a dangerous business. See, now this is really fascinating. It is, but look at all the help I'll have. That's right, Frodo. That's right. Now you might ask yourself, why are they departing from the text of the book, right? Because of course we have dialogue in the book at this moment, and this is one of the first times. No, this is the first time in the game that I have been allowed to be present, right? I mean, this is the first time in the Epic Questline that we've been allowed to be present at an event which is described in the book. Are there other examples I'm forgetting? I don't think so. I mean, we've been in places other people, they've been, of course, we've been on their trail. But I don't think we've actually attended any event that happened in the book. So you might ask yourselves, why are they not quoting from the book? The answer is they're being cautious. The text of the book is actually under separate trademark from the performance rights, which is what Warner Brothers has access to. So I think if they quote from the book too much at length, then there might possibly conceivably be difficulties or protests that HarperCollins, who owns the text copyright, would make. So here, just Turbine is being, as they tend to be, very, very cautious and staying on the right side of things. But this is one of the reasons why I really enjoy it. When playing the game, you get to see quotations that are kind of lifted out of context and put somewhere else, right? So they keep the wording, but they embed it in different places. I always love that. Hey, Aragorn. So tell me about what this day means to you. Keep an eye on these lands while we're away, my friend. Our errand is a dangerous one, but there will be danger behind us too, and my footsteps will be easier if I know that Griffith remains to protect against them. No problem, sir. I am here. I'll take care of the north while you're gone. Maybe I'll let Halberd help, but I will take care of the north while you're gone. My own journey will carry me far from here. Maybe Elrond will advise me here and now, but okay, I just got delegated with Eriador by Anduril will go to Minas Tirith, but my road follows the company for many leagues. Right. Okay. Hey, Mary. Didn't get to talk to you much before. This is it. Yeah. Okay. We'll be sure to come through okay. We'll make sure to lend Frodo all the help we can and do whatever Gandalf needs us to do. Okay. Okay, so Mary, the first important thing you have to do, are you ready? Get captured by orcs. That's your first big job, right? You'll be kind of baggage until then, but it'll all be good. Okay. Excellent. Yep, looking forward to seeing you. Yeah, come on, Pip. Stand up, would you, Pip? That's right, thank you. Come on, look alive here, friend. Saving your energy? Yeah. Understandable. Who do you got? Sam! Do you remember the rope, Sam? I reminded you to... rope. You did forget the rope. Well, you probably won't need it. Okay. Checking on your old gaffer from time to time. Okay, well, since I'm in charge of Eriador now, I can do that. Bill here will have too much to carry as it is, but I've lightened his load as much as I can. You're so thoughtful. We're in for it now, same as we are, Bill. Got to look after each other, right? Yeah, you could have stayed here in Rivendell and at the best hay, Bill, but decided you wanted to go. Hey, Boromir, you have your horn? Let us go forth boldly, rather than skulking from shadow to shadow. Let the enemy quail, and let all the foes of Gondor flee. Yeah. There you go. Nice. Always do I wind my horn at setting forth, let the enemies quake at its call. That was ill done, Boromir, you moron. Gotta be secret. Why should we creep in darkness and in fear? We are not thieves. Yet we must leave like thieves or risk detection. Of course, Boromir accepted traveling in secrecy, but he didn't want to set out in secrecy, right? But you can tell that even traveling in secrecy at all was against his inclination. Okay, the number of the company has been chosen, and any more would threaten the success of its mission. Oh man, you're telling me I can't come, Gandalf? You have business remaining in Eriador. I know, Aragorn said to look after Eriador while he was gone. I will. Defend its people from the lengthening shadows. If the errand of this company fails, Eriador will have need of heroes before the final darkness. Excellent. Okay, so if the errand of the company fails, then Eriador will have need of somebody to die trying to hopelessly to defend it. I have done my part. Okay. The Quest of Mount Doom. Ooh. ask no oath or bond, save Frodo alone. What do you have to say about that, Gimli? Any who abandon Frodo will answer to my axe. That's a little more blunt, right? A fool vows to walk any road when he knows not, where it winds. Such a vow might lend the fool courage and strengthen his heart if strength is needed. Rely instead upon each other and take what counsels you can. It's interesting. It's like a gloss on what they say in the book, right? They use way more words. This is the time when Gimli and Elrond are like swapping aphorisms, right? It's kind of like a rap battle, except somewhat less intense, right? Okay, come on, Bill. All right, bye, guys. And there's Aragorn flanking everybody right in the rear. Goodbye, sweet Imladris. Farewell. Okay, Legolas finally gets a word. Hey, I want to come. I want to come. Mary, uh-oh. What is it, Pippin? Pippin, what is it? You're hungry. Oh, I see. Very good. Bye! Bye! I'll catch up with you guys later. Probably. There goes Gandalf. The hobbits and Gimli last. So the short people are in the lead. And they're pulling away. And there's Pippin lagging behind. And oh man, he's behind by 3 lengths. And they're crossing the bridge. Bye, Pippin. Pippin, seriously, you're dragging your feet. There they go. Well, Elrond, it's just you and me. I guess between the two of us, we'll have to look after Eriador. Beyond your aid. Fortunately not beyond mine, Aragorn, but that's all right. Or Elrond, rather. For all my wisdom, I cannot see the end of their road. May they come to it in safety, and return to Rivendell in victory. Agreed. So the company departs. May the stars shine upon their road's end. Absolutely. Let's go back in and have it. Oh, here we are. So, Elrond, how do you think, what do you think about the company's progress so far?
A strange fate brings you hither.
Asking about the company's progress isn't that strange under the circumstances, but that's okay. All our hopes now rest upon the 9 members of the company. 9 walkers to stand against the 9 raiders of the enemy. May they come to no harm and return in safety, their task completed. Agreed! Nothing we can do. We must stand tall against the shadow and keep its attention focused on us. Okay. That's our task now. Of course I accept the task. I'm told Aragorn I'd look after Eriador for him. Okay. Woohoo! Now what? Well, that was awesome. Of course, now I actually have to go fairly soon, but I have time to do some more. So, okay, hang on. What was I going to say? Do I just go down to Eregion? Does the prologue, chapter 1, or not the prologue, volume 2, book 1, does that just start down in Eregion, or do I pick that up here? I'm forgetting where I pick it up. Somebody help me with that. I need to sort that out. I'd like to at least get it started here. Can anybody tell me where to go? All right. But that was awesome, man. I love that. And again, see, even though they feel like they have to redo the dialogue, they can't just quote the book. They totally would, but they can't just quote it at that kind of length. But again, when Gimli and Elrond were exchanging comments, the comments they were exchanging were like explanations of the comments they make in the book. I really like that. So, okay. And okay, so it does start in Ekhad Eregion, so I just go down to Eregion. I'll be able to start it from there. Hope so, Robs. If you're wrong, I'm gonna waste a whole lot of time. You guys sure? So you just go down there and start it. All right. Nansaronan. Right. Okay. Oh, good. Come on. Cross the darn bridge. Another whole stream practically spent in Rivendell. I don't think Grifflet has any horses he can take down to Eregion. I don't think Grifflet's ever been to Eregion. But we'll see what we can do. Okay. Let's go to Moria. And by tomorrow, I was going to say tomorrow this time. By tomorrow this time, I'll be starting Moria. Tomorrow, not too long before this, a couple hours before this time, we will be well along on our way through Moria. Let's see what we can do. Okay. I guess somebody could summon me. I don't really need to horseback it, like, for my health. But let me see. If I've got a slow horse, even a slow horse would give me some lore question answering time. I could answer Tony's question. Tony Mead had a great question, which, as I recall, was about why are Frodo and Bilbo bachelors? Why do they never get married? Whoa, Kiriana's horse is doing the moonwalk here.
How can I be of service?
You can tell me how her horse is doing that. Nope. Well, okay, fine. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and summon me? And then, yeah, somebody can summon me. I think you should be able to fellow with me. I think I still have fellowing on. And I'll stand over here next to horse. No, wait. I'll stand over here. Hey, Rohirrim. I know you're probably awful sad because Aragorn left, right? But it's not like you're not living the good life. I mean, you've got your own little stable here. And Rohirrim, like, have you seen how narrow the stables are in Ered Luin, like in Celondim? Seriously, like, they must have two-dimensional horses there. Your stable is so wide and spacious compared to that. All right, they're probably really good to you here. Yeah. So, okay. So here's the plan. I had a really good time doing the Fellowship Departing. That was fun. Oh, the Scepter of Innuminous. Anyway, so that was really fun. I didn't obviously get quite as far as I wanted to get. I don't want to skip the prologue. So here's what I'm going to do. Tonight, I gotta get Grifflet into position, right? And my goal is when I start Grifflet tomorrow morning for the marathon, I want to start him with his legendary item leveled up and in hand, right? You know how you have to do the level up your legendary item 10 levels, right? As part of the prologue there. I want to start after that. So we'll start, the first thing we'll do tomorrow is fight the Watcher in the water, which will be great. So I'm excited about that. But I'm not there yet, as we can see. I still have to schlep myself down to Moria. So I'll do that tonight. But I know there's another stream scheduled here on LOTRO stream, so I won't do it here, but I'll do it on the Signum U channel. So if you want to follow me live, come to the Signum U Twitch channel tonight, and I'll probably start that about 9:30, and you can watch Grifflet then. Otherwise, I'll record it as well, so we can post that. I probably won't record me running around and leveling it up, but I'll definitely stream all the parts up until there. So very good. So Grifflet will start up tonight down by Moria. I should probably go anyway, as I have to pick up my kids from school soon. So we'll do that. We'll introduce Grifflet to the Iron Garrison there tonight, the dwarves, the expedition into Moria, which should be great. So anyway, thanks very much, everybody. I hope that you will come out and join me tomorrow. If you can't make tonight, join me tomorrow for Grifflet's big day as he tries to go through Moria. Mavenclaw. Here we are. Okay. There we are. So remember, we're trying to raise money to support Signum University. So I hope that you will consider making even a small donation. That would be awesome. We're going to have prizes and giveaways and things. I'm going to be auctioning off opportunities to do some really fun stuff. Hey, look, it's a stable master.
Sweet Melon.
Good to see you, stable master. Excellent. Yeah. Thanks very much. Okay, here we are, and here's my friend Rothwald, and he's gonna. So we'll. There we are. Okay, Rothwald. And this ominously glowing gateway down here by the Serranan Gate. We will pick this up here this evening in preparation for tomorrow's marathon. So, Signum U, if you subscribe to the Signum U Twitch channel, you'll get a notification when I come on tonight, so you don't have to guess. So anyways, it's always kind of guesswork trying to figure out when I'm going to show up to places. Even I can't usually guess. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining me, and I look forward to spending the day with you guys tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun. So see you tonight and again tomorrow. Lots of streaming this week. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.